This video will show you how to create a comma-separated value file, known by its acronym CSV, with the data for your students. If you have a Mac, use TextEdit or your other favorite plain text editor, but do not use Word as it does not save in plain text format. So here's my TextEdit file. First thing you need to make sure is that you go Format, Make Plain Text. That will get rid of all the formatting so it can store it as a plain ASCII file. If you go back here, you'll see that menu option switches to make rich text, and you'll see that these options for various formatting goes away. So make sure you go to Make Plain Text. And you can see here I've got the data for my students here. The first line must begin with a pound sign, and then these headers indicate the order of the fields on the remaining lines. So they must match exactly as last, first, email, photo, extra email, mobile phone, home phone, identifier, and note. Those are all lowercase. There are no spaces between them. And again, you can reorder these in any order you want as long as there's a pound sign at the very first character, and then these the order matches the order of the remaining lines. The extra email addresses must be separated with a space since we're using commas to separate the other data. And you can leave off the fields if you don't want to import them. For instance, if I didn't want to import phone numbers, I would not have to list them in this top line here and would not have to enter them below. The only thing you must do is you must have at least a first and last name for each student. Okay. The files for the photos here are stored on my local web server here, and it happens to have this IP address here, and there's the URL for each of those photo files. You can also put them in a free Dropbox account. If you'd like to store them on your local Mac, please see my other video that was made with an earlier version of the app on importing CSV data. It shows you how to set up a local web server on your Mac. If you are using Windows, use WordPad and make sure you save the file as a text document, not RTF or the Office XML format. And if you're using Excel, you can type in the data using it. Again, just make sure that the first row has the headers in the order you want, with a pound sign at the very beginning of the first line. And again, instead of putting do not put the commas in, but make sure that each column has the different fields. When you save this in Excel, make sure you go and save as. Make sure you have the format as comma separated value file, and save that. Okay. And then I recommend you open it back in your favorite text editor to make sure you have the data there as a plain text file. So I will select all this data and hit Command C to copy it. And now I'm going to email it to myself. So I have it on my device. And now the rest of this video is actually running on the simulator, so I've already copied the data. So what you want to do is on the Add View tab, select Paste Class Roster, enter the course name, whatever you want for the course name. Press and hold in this text area here to select all, and then assuming you've already copied the data from your email program, you can now paste it. And now we have the data in this file here. Notice here I pasted this, copy and paste this earlier. I just have the first, last, email, and photo without the other data. And then I can press the Add button, and I can press OK, and now I'll see that course was added, and I see, and sure enough, it actually imported the names and the email, and this is the photo that was stored on the URL for each of us. Also, if you have an external keyboard, when you do Paste Class Roster, you could just type in that data directly on your device. Or if you really like typing on your iPhone or iPad, you can enter the data directly there without having to go to the trouble of creating a CSV file on your computer. But I suspect most people prefer to type it in on their computer where they can type faster.